More and more folks, because of the COVID-19 virus, are being forced to work from home. So we wanted to provide you with some tips on how to do that in a safe and effective way. If you're the business owner or a manager, these tips are going to be relevant to you. First of all, we want to talk about data security. You need to make sure that the files that you need to share between your employees are put in a secure, safe location. If previously your only storage solution was on-prem server, what you could do instead is use a service like Box.com. There are other ones out there, Dropbox, Google Drive, whatever you want. But as long as you have confidence in their authentication, in their encryption of your files, then they're a good source to go to. You can be located anywhere in the world and be any user and still be presented with enough security to not give access to anyone, but make the files accessible anywhere. The next thing we want to focus on is work guidelines. And what we mean by that is establishing what your employees are supposed to do with their work systems. Do they have laptops they take home, or is everybody using a desktop? Do you expect them to work from their own systems or from the work systems? And if so, what can they do on there? These are things to consider, things to worry about and craft out, because all it takes is one instance of something like this not being planned for a mistake to occur. The next thing is support staff. If you're sending most of your workforce to work home remotely, a lot of them are going to have technical difficulties. So you need to have at least some kind of team set up. They could be remote as well, that know how to work the technology and are able to respond quickly to any of your employees' difficulties when it comes to setting up the technology. In addition, it may be a good idea to set up some sort of policy concerning remote administration tools. Now, we usually look down upon these things because they could be used maliciously. However, if you use light versions of things like TeamViewer and install them only when needed, it should be safe and it should empower your IT team to be able to do more for your employees. Next up, communication. Okay, if you don't already have something like Zoom for remote conferences or something like Slack for company-wide chat, you should really invest in that right away. The more employees you've got, the more likely things are going to get misunderstood, the communication is going to be cut off. And when working remote, one of the most important things is maintaining communication between your employees. In addition to having these kind of technologies available to help people communicate, you could also use things like stand-up meetings every day or every other day, getting everyone together online at the same time to discuss what they're going to do for the day, what their expectations are, things like that. And finally, the last tip for businesses I want to put in here: productivity is important. If your employees don't have a clear understanding of what is expected of them with the technology they have, with the current working conditions they have, or the projects that are ongoing, then they may very well get distracted or confused or work on something that isn't relevant. Since you don't have your employees around you like you normally would, you really have to take into consideration the extra time and effort when it comes to making sure your employees know what they're supposed to be doing. So keep that in mind. Make sure you communicate, keep everyone secure. So these are not all the recommendations we would provide if a company was deciding to go to a permanent remote worker model. However, this is really meant for the temporary ones. Everything we mentioned here should be doable, capable, and within budget, and make sure to keep things going in your company. So from all of us at Malwarebytes, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I hope these tips are useful to you. Please stay safe, take care of each other, and safe surfing. I'll catch you next time.